Hi guys, welcome to another very special video. Keep going in our series of lap guides in the sim racing. We are here at the Monza circuit at the GT3 cars. This is a series made to GT3 cars, specific to these cars, and you can learn the driving line, the braking points, also the gears and other tips about these tracks. Monza is part of the greatest tracks at the world, being the very famous at the F1 calendar and also at the any other series in the real life, and also at the sim racing. We all love Monza. It has very long straights. It is a very fun track to drive. It has a lot of slipstream. You can overtake cars, so we love this track. And I hope to can help you to understand a little better the track. And if you want to have access to more specific content, if you want to know how to make a setup to a specific car, to a specific track, a specific simulator, join the Driving Academy. We have a lot of content there, and you will be able to see our setups, to use our setups, to make lab comparisons with our telemetry logs. You can also see more videos like this, and you also have strategies we done to you. Okay, so the link is in the description of this video, and you also can do it coaching sessions with me and other guys, which are the guys at the Driving Academy, in groups or private alone. There you can see, we can see you on the track, and we know where you have to improve, and we teach you the right way to do and the faster way to go to the victory lane. Okay, so let's start the Monza tutorial. So we have first straight. Okay, we are going to use the cockpit camera and the chase camera, which is this one. Okay, I'm using on this tutorial the iRacing simulator and also the Assetto Corsa. They have some difference on the physics and the car setup. Okay, I done 2 seconds laps different, doing my best. Okay, in both of the laps, and but a lot of things is very similar. Okay, the gears, I will explain to you the difference. So let's go. Also, I'm using a Logitech G27, 900 degrees of wheel rotation in both simulators. Okay, so that's my settings. So turn 1, second gear. Remembering this is just a baseline. Okay, the gears can be a little bit different, the braking points a little bit different. It depends from your setup, from the car fuel quantity. It depends from the tire life, if you have a lot of wear or not, the track weather, and a lot of other things. Your wheel, but you can go very well with this tutorial. So turn 1, 150 meters place. You have to brake there. You can start braking with all the brake pressure, and then when you put the second gear, you will start releasing the pedal to make the turn 1, which is the first part of the slowest chicane at this circuit. In second gear, start releasing the pedal. When you put the second gear, we start to turning the wheel. And here is a very important thing. The simulator tracks are different, even being the same circuit. We have different layouts at the Monza circuit. I don't know which is the most close to the real life, because these tracks change with the time. But at the Assetto Corsa and at Air Factor 2, you can go over the undercuts, you can cross them, because they are very tall, and it makes the car lose the control. But at a racing, at the Project Cars 2 race room, you can cross this part because it has very short undercuts. So if you're driving for these 2 simulators, I said, you have to do this line, use only the curbs, avoiding these orange undercuts. Okay, if you're driving for any other sim, you can just cross this okay, just paying attention to the off tracks and the cut tracks, the game penalties, okay, the way that the game decides where you can go, where you can. So here you just accelerate the car a little bit in for 1 second, and then release the pedal, still using the second gear. Here the same thing I said to the first part, it happens from the simulator. Here you can't go over the undercuts, isn't a good way to do. And here the reacceleration way, it happens from the traction control settings you're using. I'm using baseline setup to the Assetto Corsa, and I was using a setup I did to iRacing R8 GT3 car. I use the same car to both drivings, but this driving line, this driving style, it is able to any GT3 car, okay, because they are very similar. So you can use this in your driving. It doesn't matter if you are using a Ferrari, Porsche, Bentley, any other car, okay. And the GTE cars, the endurance cars, they are also very close, okay. The driving style, it is also very similar. So that's it. So here, if you have a great level of traction control acting on the wheels, you have to release the exit of that corner on full throttle. And you doing that, you put the car at this part on the corner exit. A signal to know if you did the right way is the car go to this part. If you are far from here, you probably done too late reacceleration, and that's very bad because we have a long straight ahead and you have to carry speed to there. So pay attention to that. Now we're going to the second part of the track, the second chicane. Here we have a cornered straight, okay, like Tamburello, like the way it was. You don't have to brake or even raise the pedal, just keep as inside as you can. Here I'm using 50 gear at the Assetto Corsa. I was using 6 gear at the iRacing, and at the Assetto Corsa here I'm using the 3rd gear, and I think that, let me see. No, I'm using 2nd gear at the Assetto Corsa and 3rd gear at the iRacing. If you have a shorter gear radio, you have to use 3rd gear at this corner. If you have a longer gear radio, you have to use the 3rd gear. So that's the point. The braking point, it's always the same, a little bit before the 100 meters plate, as you can see here. Now the chase camera, you have to reduce. You can start using all the brake pressure, and then as you're going close to the corner, you have to start to doing throttle braking, okay. When you put the 2nd or the 3rd gear, that one you choose to use, you have to start to turn the wheel. You put the gear, start turning the wheel and releasing the pedals. Here the same conversation we had at the first chicane. The track layout, it depends from each simulator you're using. If you have less aggressive undercuts, you can cross them, and it makes the car gain a lot of time. If you can't do that, just go as close as you can to the undercuts, but don't hit them. I just said, of course, I could hit them just a little bit. Okay, more than that, it was very bad. I was losing the control. So as you can see at the onboard, I just did a very soft touch on that part. Oh, I done shit here. So that's it. At the center, the way between the first and second part, you have to keep the car in the center. You don't have to go inside or outside. Keep the car in the center, crossing the chicanes. You have to accelerate the car just a little bit, and here you have to release the pedals, but not at all, just a half. As you can see on the graph, you have to pay a lot of attention in the throttle pedal graph. Here I release them, I passed the second part of the chicane, and I did full throttle again. The signal to know if you done the full throttle again in the right moment, the car has to be on this point. If you are far from here, or even worse, going to the sand, you done too late or too early. Receleration depends from what will happen. You have to practice this, okay? Now we have the Lesmo curves, okay, we have two of them. Here we have a lot of trouble braking. So, because we have braking and turning at the same time. So, you can start braking on full pressure. I'm using third gear with all the cars here, okay, Assetto Corsa and also iRacing. So as you can see, I start in doing full on the brakes, and then I release them and start to enter the corner. The secret here is the moment you turn the wheel, you change the gear, reduce the gear, you have to start turning the wheel and braking everything at the same time. Okay, you have to be synchronized with that movement. And here, the first curve, you have to go aggressive a little bit on these curves. Okay, you can't pass over them, just touch them. And at this point, more or less, you can restart acceleration the car with full throttle, okay, and using all that part of the track, all this part which is able. You won't have an off track or cut track here, but if the simulator penalizes you, try to be more respectful and you only use the curbs, okay? And now that's the part we done at the Assetto Corsa. The next part we're going to do at the racing simulator, and see you on the second part of our tutorial. So here we are back to the second part. Now the second Lesmo at the racing simulator. We have the wheel graph here, the pedals graph here, and the onboard action. So here we brake at the 50 meters plate, okay. Using turbo braking, you don't have to use all throttle, okay, using more than I have and releasing, releasing, and here the driving line it is more like this, at which using the chase camera. So for here you don't have to go aggressive over this curve, just touch it, okay, and go full on the gas. Here you have to use all the track possible, recentering the wheel as quick as you can to don't have oversteer and have more reacceleration speed, okay? So it's very simple. I will show you the onboard action. Okay, that is very simple. You have to brake, reduce the gear, don't brake using all pressure, using 7%, 65. Turn the wheel 9 degrees or a little bit less. Avoid the curb. Start to reacceleration. Recenter wheel as quick as you can using the extra track. As you see here, it's a signal that you did your reacceleration at the right moment, and that's it. And now the Ascari, you are going to there, another straight. Okay. So let's keep pushing. Third gear here. I used also third gear at the Assetto Corsa. Here I brake 150 meters place. At the racing we have a banner here with advertising. We brake behind it. Okay. Third gear. When you put third gear, you will start to make turbo braking, releasing the pedals, and that's it. I didn't use all the brakes here. Okay, but you can do it, isn't a problem, but you can have some lock in your tire, so you have to test and feel your setups. Okay, so third gear, release the pedal. Here it is more or less the same thing to all simulators. You can go and cross this within the green part. You always have the end cuts or very high curves, very tall. So you have to go close to them, as you see here, but you don't have to go very aggressive and cross them. And after that, you can go full on the gas. And here we have a difference between iRacing and other simulators. We also have 6 liters of fuel amount in this car. I used 20 liters in the Assetto Corsa, which is the speed carried in this section. Okay, because at Assetto Corsa I don't full throttle. I didn't brake or even release the pedal. At the racing I have to release the pedal for a half second, and then I can go full on the gas again. If I keep going on full throttle, I won't make the turn. I don't have downforce enough and grip enough to make that. So you have to check your simulator. And remembering, if you want specific content, join the Driving Academy, because there I take the specific car at a specific track and I will show you all the tricks. And you can also use our setup. You can also use our strategy to 20-minute race, 30 minutes race, 30 minutes endurance race. You have all done. You just have to watch the videos, watch the make comparisons in your telemetry if it is available, because if you are running at the PlayStation or Xbox, isn't possible, but if you are running PC, it is. And you have to compare, and there you can see where you have to go faster, where you're losing time, lost in time, sorry. So it's very important. It is just 9 euros, okay, or something like $13. Isn't expensive if sim racing it is your favorite rod, because you spend a lot of time here, and if you don't have to spend a lot of time testing, crashing the car, it is much easier, okay, so you can be more happy driving. So check the link in the description, and I hope to see you there. Let's keep the tutorial. So here, release the pedal. In the racing, the other seems full on the gas. Here you can use this curve, but I don't recommend that to be too aggressive, okay. In the racing you can be, isn't a problem, but the other simulators you can use the curves like this. You have to go as close as you can, but without touching, okay. Full throttle here, you can go over this curve, but be smooth there. Just 2 wheels, okay, not very over, because the car flies for a half second and is very dangerous. Here you have to use auto track. This is a consequence of your driving here. If you don't release the pedals here and you carry a lot of speed, you can go at this part of the track. If you at this point you are far from here, it is a signal that you released too much the throttle pedal for a while, okay. So you have to make better, and using all these iRacing once gives you one track off track, it is able to do driving line like this, okay. So don't worry about it. Now I'm going to show to you the onboard action, as I always do, and let's go into the Parabolica, which is the last corner. Third gear, throttle braking, touching the curbs, release the pedal a little bit, avoid the curbs, touching again, full throttle, using all the track possible. That's it. Ascari section. Now Parabolica, which is the last corner. I love that corner. It is a little bit difficult to find the best braking point. Here, third gear, all the simulators. Okay. Now, a little bit far, close to the 50 meters plate, you have to brake, reduce to the third gear. And here we have some throttle braking, very intense throttle braking, because we have to turn the wheel and braking at the same time, okay, because it's a very long corner, so a longer corner requires more throttle braking. That's it. So third gear, and you have to braking and turning at the same time. As you can see, I'm turning the wheel and braking at the same time, going inside, and then you can release the pedal. Here is a very important thing: the speed and the way how you release the pedal. It demands the grip and the car handling that you have at this corner. Because if you release the throttle pedal too fast, the rear wheel it will have some oversteer, which is very bad at this corner. So you have to be a little bit smooth and going releasing the throttle pedal and also the braking pedal. So it's you have to be very good on the brake pedals, okay, at this corner. So as you can see here, I released it full, but when I done that, I was braking. So that's the secret. If you release the throttle pedal fast, you have to be braking. Okay, you can just release the pedals and have just rolling. Okay, that can make the car very dangerous. So I have to be smooth on the braking. As you can see, I'm releasing. Keep calm. Okay, I don't at the brakings. So you have to do like that if you don't want to spin or lost your lap in the last corner. So for the gear here, you have to keep as inside as you can. You don't have to be aggressive on the curbs. You can hit them, but very smooth. Okay, as you saw here, and then full on the gas, going as close to that green section, but without touch it. You can touch, isn't different. Okay, you don't have any grip difference here. But I don't recommend. As close as you can keep the car, it's better. But you have to reaccelerate the car as soon as you can. So a good signal to see if you don't, you go close to this. Okay, so basically now I'm gonna show to you the onboard action, and that's it. We're done a lap at the Monza circuit. Third gear, reducing at the 50 meters plate, close to the curbs, full on the gas, close to the green section. That's it, guys. You have done a lap at the Monza circuit. Okay, and I hope that you enjoy it. You can make some coaching sessions with us at group or private, also in the racing, R Factor 2, Acero Corsa, race room, or even Automobilista. That's it. And you can also join the Driving Academy and see our online content about sim racing with setups, telemetry logs, strategy, and lap widths, in many sims and many tracks with many cars. So that's it for today. I hope to see you on the top of the podium, and I see you on the track.